Okay, so that was slide page 2. So on page 4, we looked at the bottom slide. It says here, like, essentially, or what are ways that we can help them. We need to be speaking the way we're able to write, or they need to be speaking the way they're able to write. If we help them scaffold their thoughts, responses in writing, we can help them advance in their speaking. So some of the things they said that their expectation, again, this was all news to me too, is that when they're doing their TELPUS test, they need to speak very fluently, and it says kind of like rehearsing for an interview. So they use the interview as an example, like, would you go to an interview and how do you look if you're sitting there pausing and saying, They said just the way we prepare for an interview, that's the way we should be preparing these students for the TELPUS test. Says that something, again, I also didn't know, students can write, they have the opportunity to write down their responses before they actually speak and record. Did you know all that? Is it maybe just news to me?
No, some of it.
Okay. So through all of these, we went through the different language proficiencies. So that's a lot of information that we can go over later. There's different tips here. Some of the things I wanted you guys to look at was here. If you all can go to page 10. These are some of the strategies that they asked us to go ahead and start to implement in our instruction that can also help our students. We had the roving paragraph. So the way that worked, and we actually did all these examples, it was pretty cool. Everybody got an index card. I think you guys could both use this in your classrooms. So we started with a topic. So you give them a topic. Let me see if I have my card with me. So see, they gave us a topic, and our topic for practice was writing is important because. So, you can use it in your Bill of Rights. I know that's what you're studying right now, right? The kids are. And right here, force and motion, I think is what you're covering, right? So it is important because, and so you give them that topic and they write their first sentence, right? They write one sentence. And then you tell them, okay, get up and walk around the room. You can play, they played music for us, or you can just say, walk around, find somebody, now stop, right? And then after you do that, the next line says, in addition. So they read their information to each other, and then they can add what the other person said, in addition, and whatever their partner said. Walk around again, also, and share with somebody else, right? And so then they've created this card. And then at the end, in conclusion part, they do that on their own. So then they go back to their chair, and with the 3 sentences that they have, they write their own conclusion. So this was practicing their writing, and then at the end, you can ask them to present and practice their speaking skills. So that was one of the ones that we did. We also, I don't think we talked much about the framed paragraph, but it is something that you can use the details of, and they used history for a lot of examples. The history of whatever is important because, right? Blank takes place during this great time there was, and detail. You see how those work. If you look at the bottom of page 12, these were some of the pictures that they gave us. It's really hard to see because they're not in color. But they gave us, for example, a picture here, and they told us to turn to a partner and to talk about what we saw, or write about what we saw and then talk about it. It was actually really difficult because we had to talk, like I said, without stuttering, without pausing. And it was actually kind of difficult to record. And then you record for 45 seconds. So we put timers and we, worked back and forth. And then on page 13, again, there were pictures. We talked about another strategy, EPOD, explain, personal experience, opinion, and details. And so there's an example you can see on the Bill of Rights. That's perfect for you right now.
Who presented this?
Between Mrs. Olivares, Mr. Joe Cantu, and...
Is there a history teacher there?
No, sir, there was not. Miss, I can't think of her name. She's a 5th grade teacher.
Oh, yeah, Miss... yeah, I know she is.
Ochoa,
Yeah, she
Marquez?
is.
Marquez.
She's
Miss
a-
Marquez.
Yeah. It's
She's
'cause I
si-
do all this stuff in the class already.
Is she history?
Yeah, this is like old stuff.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
great. I mean, and see,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, she says is Miss Olivares ended up saying was that they sat with some teachers from Brownsville ISD.
Uh-huh.
So actually, this was like news to her.
Wow.
So she was enlightened, and she says that Brownsville does this, and Brownsville has it on their website. She showed me actually this morning. Brownsville does have it on their website, and so that they were able to collaborate and talk, and that's where they were able to get a lot of these. So then, as you see the categories on page 14, the speaking categories. Category 1, provide and summarize information. Category 2, share opinions and analyze information. So then we went over the speaking system. There's a 2 points. They get 2-point items. 2-point item types are fairly simple, such as making a prediction based on the picture, stimulus, or using a map to provide directions. That's one of the things they have to do. They give them a map and they have to kind of say, go north, go west, go here, and respond. They have 45 seconds. And then there's more pictures. This was all pairs, sorry. I know y'all weren't there, but these were all, we did in pairs, and they asked us to look at the pictures and make a prediction, or it says here, describe 2 ways they're similar and then 2 ways they're different. It actually proved really difficult to do. Or maybe it was just me. My partner and I, Miss Flores, we had a really hard time. And then there's, on page 17, the 4-point system. They're open-ended, such as a series of pictures to explain a multi-step process, comparing and contrasting, taking a position on an issue, or defending that position. And then they have 90 seconds to respond. So if you look at the bottom of 17, those slides, it gives you a prompt and it tells you to explain what's going on or tell a story about what's going on. So in these samples, what we ended up doing towards the end was that we were given a source. And I know I'm skipping through this, but we were given a source. If you want to go to the back of 22,
Okay.
we were given several sources. But one of the ones that is going to be an expectation for us by content area is going to be Flipgrid.com. Okay. So every teacher is expected to create an account. And what we're asking is that you create the account and connect your students using their Gmail. Add your homeroom only, and you'll be responsible for your homeroom and adding in some steps. So if y'all are at Flipgrid.com,
Okay.
so you just go in there, and then you're going to go and select educator sign up. Are you there? Okay.
Let's make a grid.
Okay.
Okay.
So once you're there, you'll connect it to your Gmail for school and fill in your information.
So name your grid would be what?
So name your grid is your homeroom. So you could name it your homeroom.
Would it interfere with the other grading?
No,
No,
because
just
it's
like-
going to have your own code. You can put 8th grade if you want to.
Grade beta, because I know we had a problem
With something else?
with Study Island.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, once you create it, you can go ahead and press,
So science.
there you go.
You click
And
next.
then it says select a grid type. Do you see that?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
that would be
So
school.
you're going to do school email, because
Got
that's
you.
going to be how they're going to sign up.
Okay.
And then at the very bottom, can you scroll down for me? Okay, create a code. It creates a code for you. You see how
I
it just
see
kind of
it.
put your last name and then the code?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to write it, guys, because it's
Okay.
going to show you. Press next.
Got you.
Okay, perfect. And so there it's asking you to enter everything after your email. So for us, it's going to be at vanguardacademy.net.
That's it.
Yes, that way it can tag to to Vanguard. And then it's going to, populate it, put yes.
So just this one. Press
Yes.
enter. That's
And then yes. Go ahead and press, what is it, next?
it. Next.
Okay.
Okay, and so there's your code. Again, if right now, like let's say if y'all wanted to go to your Google Classroom,
Okay.
you can copy that code and put it in there and tell the kids to join your
Okay.
your grid. Or you don't have to copy it now, just
You
put
can
all
share
set.
Oh, you don't have to. Can you share it already, or?
You can, yes. Now you can, if you want to log into yours is,
I mean, if I share it, what happens though? Like.
it's going to go to their Google Classroom.
But that's what we need. We need to have evidence that they're using it in.
Yes. But first things first,
Okay.
just you can press all set for now. I'll show you another way to do it, just
All
really
right.
quickly.
Wait, what about? I don't like that. I don't like that.
I know, I just saw that.
Okay. All set?
Okay, hers is prettier. So now that you're there, that's your class. So one thing that you guys are going to be responsible for, if y'all want to take a moment really quickly, we're going to be held accountable from our assistant principal. Is she
Yes.
wants your code, and she also wants to be added as a co-pilot. So do you see where it says actions? Actions right here.
Yes, with the arrow down.
So we can. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Oh,
Can you
the
go
top
over?
one.
Yes, add a co-pilot. You see add a co-pilot?
And a co-pilot. Yes.
Okay. Can you add? And then we're gonna add Mrs. Olivares. So it's M_.
Got you.
Olivares.
At Vanguard Academy.
It'll populate. I don't remember which one it was, to be honest with you. Let me see if what I have in mind.
Net. Olivares with a Z, right?
Olivares with a Z.
VanguardAcademy.net.
Manage your co-pilots. Let's see.
Yeah, it's not.
Is it okay? Then try ac.net. She'll populate there.
Oh,
You
actually,
did it.
yeah.
What is it?
Pending invite.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Okay, yes, pending invite. That's her.
So that's it.
So that's it. So you've added her in. Well, that's one step that she expects from us. And then the next step is going to be that she wants your code. So do you see back? You can press close.
The
Close
X.
it out from there.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And you see your flip code? Right there.
Right here.
Right
Okay.
there. Flip code, that one.
Right.
Okay, so if y'all want to take a picture and then email
Oh.
it to her, or if not, she wants that code. That's kind of like your proof that you've created your classroom. And
Okay.
again, she's your co-pilot. She'll be in the class with you, so she is going to be able to see that.
So
You
we
all
just
can take a picture, Mrs. Trevino.
I didn't have my phone. I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
take a picture and email it to her.
Yes, you can email it to her and let her know I have created my Flipgrid.
So, okay, it's up, which, is this the code right here, up here?
This one.
Okay.
Right there. Trevino 9852.
Right there
So-
where it says hello. Do you need to check out that box or
Where are you?
right here in the
Okay,
bottom?
so
that
really
little
quickly
hand?
before-
Share with her, down here, share?
No, not yet. You're gonna have to email her.
Okay.
So really quickly before you go, let me just show you guys how to add a lesson because
Okay.
they're gonna want us to add lessons. You can add several of them right away. So if you want to go to the top of your page, go as far up as you can to the
Okay.
right, upper right hand corner, Disco Library.
Oh,
Yes. So these are a whole bunch of topics that we can add. We filtered it. If you can scroll down a little bit.
uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to filter it though.
Well, if
No.
you scroll down to search topics right there.
Okay.
You see on the right hand side right there at the top of your screen?
Yes.
Right here, search topics. Okay, can you all type Telpas or
Oh.
Telpas?
Telpas.
And then press enter. And you're going to see all of these trainings that come up for Telpas.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. You see all that?
Yes.
Okay. So click on, you can start with number 1 if you want to.
Okay. Is it required that we go through all of them? Or?
No, you're not going. You're going to sign them to the kids.
Oh, okay. That they were like for us for
They're
certifications.
gonna
Okay.
have to work on each.
It's actually
practice.
pretty fun. That's what I was doing today with the kids. So if you want to
Okay.
click on Telpas 1, and then it says select grid. You see how her says select grid? You want to click on Telpas 1?
So which is Telpas one?
It says Telpas practice
yes,
1.
okay.
That one. Okay? Select grid on the top right hand corner right here.
Yep.
And then, well, you only have your homeroom, right?
Yes.
So click your homeroom.
Add.
Yes.
So are they gonna get the same thing in every class, or is it gonna
An
be different?
ad. Well, the thing is that you're only supposed to be doing your homeroom.
Hey, this is pretty
Right.
cool.
So the next time they'll come in with you, they'll do Telpas too. So here's the thing, actually, is they're gonna be recording themselves. So you see the first assignment. If you clicked on it, it says, I mean,
The pictures, you will use the pictures to tell a story. When you're ready to speak, talk about it.
you see that,
Are
right?
we gonna get the microphone so they can?
We can get the headphones, we can check them out, or what I did today is I'm having them practice. See, look at the pictures. You will use a picture to tell a story. When you're ready to speak, talk about it. So what I did today is I put them together and I said, okay, look at the picture. I put them in pairs just because it was fun to work with somebody else. And I said, first talk about it. So I gave them a few minutes and I said, okay, talk about it together. Y'all try to work with each other, set timers. You know how they love to compete. So they were having a ball with that. Let me set the timer. Let me see what you said. But they actually really got into it. So after that, you can tell them, okay, now I want you to write down your thoughts, right? Write down your thoughts and tell me here as much as you can tell me, or the story that they're trying to tell with these 4 pictures. And then as a student, when you go in there, I don't know that we can do it from our side, but when they go in there, they have their option to record. So they go in there and it actually, on the Chromebooks, it records their face and their voice.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Cool.
They were, of course, they were excited. I said, no, we're recording tomorrow. Today we're just talking and then writing on the card. So that's adding 1. Like I said, they really enjoyed it. I've only done it with 3 classes so far. I wanted to have everybody, but only in case you guys weren't able to do so. But like I said, I did double check and she said everybody's going to be responsible by content. So
can it be possible that they do it in your class, but like homeroom, and they could?
we
practice
could.
it?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Most definitely. That way you guys are also getting the,
See.
exposure. And I'm sure as we play with it, you'll see other categories for science, you can search, same thing, search the topics by your your content. So then again too, if y'all want to add Telpas 2 later on your own time, you can just go in there, click on the Telpas Practice 2, select the grid, what class you want to add it to. And Ms. Marquez, for example, she had already added all the Telpas. You know, they were already there. So that way the students can start working on it one by one.
Okay.
But you have officially created your account, which is something you're responsible for. And then you just send your flip code. I know Mr. T already sent his, but if you can just send her yours.
I texted it to her, so.
Okay. That way, that's what you're held responsible for immediately. That was by Friday. So
No.
you are
Thursday.
completed. And then when y'all have time, you can do that. Any
Okay.
questions?
No, I don't know. Thank
Mrs.
you.
Carreño?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.